There's all types of wars going on in the video game landscape. There's the console wars that everybody knows about, Xbox versus PlayStation versus Nintendo. There's also the upcoming handheld wars with everybody releasing either a PC handheld or some kind of console hybrid. Nintendo fans, they're just in their own civil war right now. If their favorite IP isn't showing up in a Nintendo Direct, it's a bad Direct, and they're all fighting each other. They're beyond the console wars pretty much. But also, there's the console versus PC war. And I see this come up a lot in the comments on my videos, but also just on social media in general. And it's been this way for years where, PC gamers are, PC master race, they're, consoles are dead. No one wants consoles. Why get a console? You can get a PC. It's super powerful. It could do everything. It can play all the games, maybe not console exclusives, but who needs consoles exclusives? That's loony. Like that's some old 90s stuff. Who wants that anymore? That's cringe, And I have a gaming PC. I'm recording this right now on a PC with a 3080 graphics card, okay? I have a Steam library. I have an Epic Game Store library. I have some games on GOG. I'm familiar with it, with PC. One thing is I don't play on my PC all the time. One of the big reasons for that is I work at a desk job. I'm on a computer all day. And after work, just sitting at the desk more is just like, it's not that relaxing. I'd rather sit on the couch. And of course, I can hook up the PC to my TV over there and sit on the couch and use the PC on the TV. I don't need to do that right now. I don't want to do that right now. But yeah, that's something up my sleeve. If in the future, if that becomes like the right move to do, then I can do that. But one other thing that you might not know is 10 years ago in 2015, I actually had back surgery. I was working out in the gym doing squats and deadlifts, and I slipped a disc, so I got a microdiscectomy. And I had back surgery, and you can see I have a bunch of exercise equipment there, like exercise and not sitting for too long. That's like a huge part of my day-to-day life. Like I can't sit and play for like 2 hours straight, like without like feeling sore or even watching a movie. And if I stop exercising or anything like that, then it just becomes like worse and worse. And like I had stuff acting up like 2 years ago, got like an MRI and saw like a spine specialist, kind of like like the same motions as 10 years ago, because I thought, I was like, oh man, am I going to need surgery again? And I didn't, but he said like, he's like, there's actually not too much to worry about. In the fact, like everybody's spine, it looks like this when they turn 50. And I'm just like, I'm like in my early 30s. I'm like, oh, that's great. Like I'm in my 30s. I am 30 and I have a 50-year-old spine. Like that's great. So it's just like, I kind of think about that in long terms of like PC gamers. Like, oh, everyone's playing PC right now, like in their 20s and 30s. And it's like, well, they probably have 20 and 30 spines. And so like in 50, like when they're 50 or 60 or 70, like you're still gonna be wanting to spend your time on PC. And so like when it comes to putting all my eggs in one basket, like I see people who are like hardcore PC gamers, they're putting all their eggs in one basket. Unlike me, a multi-console gamer, I have PC, like I have like my Steam library and all that. I have a 3080 PC. I use it sometimes, not that much, but like I also have consoles. And I like seeing from the TV. And of course, like we've been over, we can put the PC under the TV. Like that's one thing. But there's a lot of eggs in one basket. And so like, yeah, you might not want to sit at the computer. And like, I like to think of like me buying games and owning my games as just like a way of building up like my retirement like plan. Like, that's what I'm gonna do like when I have all this extra time and I want entertainment. I can replay games I already own. I have a backlog of games that I even haven't played, so I can still discover new games. And yeah, so like if you're just like, who needs consoles and you're just PC only, like that's just like one aspect to it. But I have other concerns too besides that, because again, we can get around that. And there's the new Xbox coming out with Steam integration, so like that can resolve that problem as well with carrying your Steam library over. But then that begs the question: are you a PC gamer or are you a Steam gamer? I think that's like a pretty big differentiator there as well. But like, again, all your eggs in one basket. So if you're just a PC gamer and all your eggs are in one basket, no consoles, for one thing, your games are digital. So like when you're talking the console space, there's always the huge physical and digital thing. I mean, look at Nintendo Switch 2. Nobody wants there's a whole conversation of people not wanting game key cards because they're basically just digital games. It's not all on the cart. PC is all digital. Like that is all digital. Any PC gamer has like already like accepted that all digital like lifestyle and everything's tied to Steam. And like for the people who like think they've they're awakened. That's what like GOG is for. It's like, oh, it's DRM free gaming. Like that, that's the way to do it. And you're not wrong by that either. Like that is like a very smart move to make in that direction. But something I like to think about, or just like some like I don't know, like some thought experiments I do when it comes to like just when it comes to PC gaming is like, here's a great example of recently. It was like the Visa card and the MasterCard stuff that happened on Steam. It's like one like tiny policy change with Steam can make it go from like the greatest thing ever to bad. And so like we already saw a little bit of that with like the MasterCard and Visa card thing, like pretty much censoring what games can be on Steam. But then like what's next? Like what happens if they roll in ID verification? That's a big thing that's going on. Like with Spotify, you need ID verification for Spotify, and like YouTube's implementing it. Well, what happens when it gets implemented with Steam? Right? And there could be different levels to this. It could be on the storefront of Steam, where like in order to have like a Steam account and buy and play games, you need to do an ID verification. Reasonings for this they'll probably try to like do is to make sure you're like 18 if you're playing an 18 plus game. Or like maybe like a game like Fortnite or Roblox, like an MMO game where it's a social game, and they don't want like there's already a bunch of stuff going on with Roblox and a bunch of like weirdos on there doing some bad things like that. I mean, even like I can kind of like see that being a reasoning for ID verification. Not that like I want there to be any of that for anything, but like I can see that future being like they implement that. So like maybe on the Steam store level, but maybe even in like the game specific level where like games implement those kind of systems themselves. I mean, I think they do that with anti-cheat. That's not like a Steam thing. I think that's like per game. And I think there's already been like kind of stuff with that about like some of those anti-cheat softwares actually being like spyware and that getting put like on your computers and stuff. So like, yeah, I know like with the ID verification, there's people who like don't want to use Spotify anymore because of that, or like YouTube. And there's a bunch of people who are going to do it. But again, like you have all, if you're like a PC gamer and or a Steam gamer, however you want to identify that, you have all your eggs in one basket. One policy change can like ruin that platform for you. And me as like a multi-platform gamer, PC, consoles, like and by Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox, if any one of those four go down, becoming like a bad seed or something, I might lose a chunk of my library, but I haven't lost all my library, and I could still probably game the rest of my life without like buying any new games. So yeah, I mean that's ID verification, but that's also just like we're still talking about on like Steam in the games and on the storefront. What if Windows itself on the OS level implements an ID verification to then monitor what you're doing on Windows itself? So like for the people who are into emulation, or like torrenting and all of that, yeah, I don't know. Like if you have like you need to have your ID verified to use Windows, then like I don't know, is that going to scare people from using Windows? All these like high and mighty like PC people, like they're I don't know. Look at like Nintendo when it comes to their legal system trying to take down emulators. You better believe they want to stop all this stuff because that's money they're losing out on. Like if it's like games or like shows or something, like they're losing that money by people doing that. And like obviously it's a battle, and eventually like yeah, if they implement that, I don't think that's gonna like stop it completely. Like when it comes to the people sailing the seas, like they're gonna find a new way to do it, but it is gonna like make it harder. And then if like your ID is like required to use Windows, I feel like that's a lot of stuff that like I don't know, if you get caught doing that, then it's like it can make the legal process easier and that'll deter people even more from doing that. And so like just another thing, like if you're a PC gamer, because I can play every game I want for free with emulation, I don't know if they do like the ID thing, like that can make that like a bit more difficult. And one of the ways I think they could do that is with like new like AI security tools. I'm a software developer and like I work on computers all the time. Maybe that's also why I don't PC game all that much, because I'm already on Windows all day and troubleshooting, and like I'm not IT, but I could be IT. And just like I don't know, I can kind of like envision that like an AI security tool that's like trying to like look for like emulator software, like and scans all the files on your system and like can analyze the I don't know the code of like the exe and it sees like, oh, it can determine like, yeah, this software is used to run like a Switch ROM or whatever, and like I don't know, maybe get some partnership with Xbox and Nintendo, like because Nintendo hates like the ROM and all the emulation stuff, and they have all those legal battles and stuff, and maybe they're like, hey Xbox, like maybe we'll put Mario on Xbox. Everybody like, yeah, the console wars are over. Mario's on Xbox, we win. It's like, but you need to install something on Windows, like at the OS level that scans, and if you find anything that is an emulator that runs like Switch games or even NES games or Super Nintendo or N64 games, old games that like you can't buy anymore. And if you see like a software that runs this, you need that ID verification on Windows, send us reports of that. And then you can have Mario, and if anybody mods Mario, let us know about that too. And like the reason like I bring like AI into this, again, this is all like speculation or whatever. I'm probably not even the first person to think about this. There's probably somebody like deep into like these companies that are way smarter than me that probably kind of like thought of this stuff. But like I think like AI, because it's like, oh, like with the emulators, oh, just encrypt it or like change the name of the exe, like it's looking for Ryujinx like .exe or whatever, like change the name or encrypt it. Like AI might be smart enough to be able to figure out that that's encryption, or like we're entering a world with like quantum computing and all of that. I don't know, like, but stuff can be more powerful. I'm sure it could probably figure that out. So it's like a bad mix of like, I mean, I'm sure like in this battle for in this war between the people who sail and these like IP like holders, anybody who's playing all these games for free, they're gonna try to like fight back. I think that's inevitable. And so like I don't know, if you live off of emulation, like don't get me wrong, I have my Doomsday hard drive, I have like all the files, and this makes me think like, yeah, I should build a system that's totally offline and I can put on the TV and like just have a completely offline system that I don't require a computer just in case. Um, I don't know, like I have it, but I still invest in physical games, retro, new games, and all that. Build up that library. 'Cause I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. If I'm just like spending all these years just buying digital PC games and using emulation, uh, someday that could get taken away. And like I want to have a system and a structure where I can bring all my games into my retirement. And I don't know how long I'm gonna live or how long I'm gonna be able to physically play games, but like at least as old as I am now, I would love to play for another 30 or 40 years. And maybe there's comes a day I don't want to spend another dime on games, and I can do that right now. Uh, that's something I think about, but also like even on the Windows level, okay, let's say that's like crazy talk, like that's too much, no way that can happen. Which like I don't know, like everyone says there's no way anything can happen. Uh, what if Windows becomes a subscription service? Windows itself, the OS. I'm sure Microsoft wants to do that so bad. They want Windows to be a subscription service. That'd be just like, oh, you gotta pay. We just had Xbox Game Pass go up to $30 a month. Like you need to pay $50 a month to use Windows. I mean, like we already have like Adobe Photoshop. No one did anyone think you can use to be able to buy Photoshop, and now it's like I don't know, $10 a month or something, and I hate it. I would pay 500 right now for a Photoshop I can keep. I can say all the same thing, whatever. I would pay $500 for Photoshop right now, and to be able to like keep it forever. And like, yeah, I have like a drawing tablet back there that I like to play with casually. I'm not good at any means. I just enjoy it. But like, makes me use it less is like that Photoshop like subscription, and Photoshop's way better than like anything else I can use for free. So it's just like I feel like they want to do it so bad, and maybe hardware as a service, like cloud hardware, maybe that will take off eventually, where it's like then they'll have some advertisement campaign where like you don't have to buy the new graphics card, you don't have to buy all this, you can just like, and they already have like that where you can like get a remote Windows. I don't think it's very good. I never used it. I can't imagine it being very good, but maybe it will be. Like I think game streaming, they're gonna figure that out, the input lags and all that. So like I don't know if like if Windows ever becomes a subscription, then like all right, yeah, you own your Steam games, but now you have to pay $50 a month to like access and use them. I don't know, like something like that becomes bad. It's like, well, all right, I'm done using computers. I still use Windows for work. Like I don't need to use it at home anymore. Like I'm just gonna chill on consoles and play retro in my free time. We're probably a ways away from that, but I'm sure they want it to be a subscription service, absolutely. But like that's gonna have some big backlash for sure. Maybe they'll like ease it in, or something. And so like yeah, that kind of like makes me think of like oh, that will never happen. But like I mean, look at computers over the past 20 years, and I think like just like Yeah, you can buy like I don't know. This computer I'm using right now is like a $3,000 computer. My one upstairs, I think I spent like 1,500 on that one. In 2015, that was the first computer I built. I didn't build this one. I just like bought like a pre-made that had like 30. It had a 38 in it. It actually seemed like a pretty good deal. And I already know how to build a computer. I also just didn't want to. I didn't feel like going through that project. Um, but the one that I have upstairs is built, and I have to like I've known for like when I go back to it, like I want to refresh it so it can last another 10 years. But like that's the thing, I need to dump another like 2 grand into it to really make it worth it. And I can't install Windows 11 on it, so Windows 10 is going out of service, and I can't install Windows 11. And I don't even think it's just like the TPM. Like I need like a new CPU, which I want to upgrade anyway. Like that's part of it. Like if I'm to upgrade the CPU, like I may as well upgrade the motherboard too, and like and get a graphics card. So there's like a lot I have to do with that. I might like upgrade everything but like just the hard drives or something. Uh but then like yeah, so it's like yeah, that's like 2000 and it's been 10 years. And I already know I need to like upgrade like $2,000 in that. But the prices of everything's going up. So that's just me like spitballing that. I haven't even looked at the prices so of parts, and like with inflation, everything going up, like yeah, you invest into like a big rig right now, maybe it lasts you 10 years or 15 or 20 years, but like then we're talking about like you want to keep gaming farther than that, like into retirement or pass it down, you're probably have to do some kind of big refresh. And it's like yeah, like well, Windows, I can't even upgrade my Windows on that. I need a more expensive system, and it's just like difficult to maintain. Like I don't know, like to be like a retro, like I think it's pretty cool people who are into like retro PC and keeping those like 90 computers alive. I think like the first PC my family owned was like a 4 megabyte hard drive, and that was like luxury back then in like I don't know the early 90s. But just something like I can't imagine like wanting to like if I was like a huge into like PC games. I remember like some PC games I had like growing up and stuff. Not that I really want to play them now, but to like preserve that and maintain that and have that, it seems like such a pain. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to get into that. I never will. And so who knows how computers and everything change over the next 20 years. These games are on Steam now that are Windows 10 compatible. They're Windows 11 compatible, and maybe and that'd be good. I'm sure they want to have a system where this stuff stays compatible and like the rate of progress is slowing down. But I know like I had like Halo 2 and Gears of War like on like boxed Windows Vista games. I don't think I can play those on Windows 10. And so like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of just like PC like now for the past 10 years. When I built that in 2015, and Windows 10 is just going out of service now, so it's been like 10 years, and it's been easy right now as PC gamers, and like we're in the rise of like TikTok and all that, and social media and influencers. So everybody wants a PC setup, especially the young kids. They, like have like a really cool PC setup to prove that they're a gamer, but like yeah, and like they build their PCs, they're hardcore. They build PCs, but really they just go on PC Part Picker and pick parts, and they have the green checkbox that say, "Yep, these are compatible and work." And then you have these 10 parts, and you snap them together like Legos. Like they probably don't even know what the parts do. Like um, they don't really know how computers work. And so I don't know. There's just like all these little things I keep in the back of my mind. Like that might be doomsday feeling, and yeah, this isn't saying like, oh, this is why consoles are better. Like, I still have a gaming PC. I still like buy games on Steam, especially on the cheap. Like, it's great. Like, it's again PC gamer, or are you a Steam gamer? Like, a lot of those like platforms that they come on the new Xbox, that's cool. You can put the PC under the TV and then like not sit at the desk. Like that's a thing too. I think like the ID verification and like the possible like AI stuff. Like there's like a lot of things that like could happen. That doesn't mean they will, but the fact that like I can think them makes me think that like someone else who like is higher up at these companies that have the power to do this, they thought of it too. Like they wish and they want to do that. And I just like can't help but think that like one policy change with Steam or with Windows and PC can just like make it so like nobody like it goes from this great amazing thing where people are on Steam playing everything they want, cheap sales, free online, emulation, playing all these games for free, to like just this like nobody wants to touch it, they're scared to use it. Um, and then they start raising prices on everything, and then you don't have a backlog of physical like media, like of games or retro consoles or movies or TV, and you don't have that like backup to fall back on, and you're stuck paying these big prices. It's the same thing with like if you play Game Pass, or if you watch Netflix, if you have like 10 video streaming services, and they all raise the price by $1. You're paying $10 more a month, $120 more a year. Uh, but like, if they raise those prices instead of paying $120 a year, I might just cancel a bunch, keep a couple, one or two or something, and then cut my entertainment with physical media. It's same thing with PC, or just like the PC versus console wars. Like I don't think like any war. Again, I play Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and PC. Again, I play Xbox and PC like the least right now. Like I can't play everything all the time, but that doesn't mean I don't keep it maintained. I keep building those libraries because it could be Nintendo that goes bad. It could be Sony that goes bad. Anybody could go bad, and I don't want all my eggs in one basket. And so when everyone's saying how superior PC is, I'm like, yeah, it is. Like right now, every point you make right now, when how great PC gaming is and how you can do so much on it, no doubt that's how it is from how it was from 2015 to 2025. But I don't know if that's going to be true from 2025 to 2035. And I know my GameCube still works. I know my PlayStation 2 still works, and they don't need to connect online. They ain't going to get bricked. My games are physical. They're not going to get taken away. I'm not going to need an ID verification. I'm not going to need to pay a brand new subscription. And that's like, it's a benefit. Don't put all your eggs in one basket is all I'm saying. I mean, yeah, you can be PC master race, but, which is cool. But yeah, there's like some long-term things about it that I don't want to have all my eggs in one basket, and just I don't know if you should either. So let me know you guys think in the comments. And have you thought of any of these things before? Do I sound just absolutely crazy and this is all nonsense, or are these things you never thought of? If you're a multi-platform gamer, then like the video and subscribe because we're multi-platform gamers here. And yeah, see you guys in the next video.